Hi, I'm Stuart.
And I'm Kass.
And welcome to Extracurricular Activities. And boy, we've got lots coming up for you today.
We sure do. We've got a little bit about Indian Independence Day, live art week on campus, and 60-second snacks making a mug cake.
But first up, we have David with News of the Week.
Thanks, guys. Rescuers in Italy are continuing their search for survivors following this Tuesday's horror collapse of a 50-year-old bridge in Genoa. The death toll has now risen to 39, and authorities say they are expecting this number to increase. The bridge, part of a highway connecting the island to southern France, collapsed during a heavy storm, sending numerous vehicles piling down on top of a railway, a riverbed, and two warehouses. The Italian Prime Minister has declared a state of emergency for Genoa, which is now more or less separated from the French mainland. Do you smoke? If you don't, it turns out you might be inadvertently doing damage to your lungs anyway. The World Health Organization has released data on the air quality of major cities and has converted this into cigarettes smoked per day. Turns out if you breathe the air of Kanpur, India, for one day, you might as well have smoked 7.86 cigarettes. We did do slightly better in Australia, although a day in Sydney is still about 0.36 cigarettes, which is nearly half. And Adani, the mining magnate proposing a coal mine in the Galilee Basin, has recently submitted an environmental report which again failed to address the demands of regulators. The draft plan, obtained by the ABC, did not adequately outline how the company would implement the groundwater dependent ecosystem management plan and protect a spring complex in central northern Queensland and the flora and fauna that rely on it. And on that note, back to you guys.
I would have never imagined that you'd be smoking the equivalent of almost half a cigarette just by spending a day around Sydney.
I know, it's really crazy, isn't it? So if you were on campus yesterday, you were probably wondering what was happening on the McKinnon lawn yesterday. Maddie was out there to see what was happening for Indian Independence Day.
Hi, it's Maddie for UAW TV Multimedia. Today we're out here on the McKinnon lawn where the Indian Students Association are celebrating Indian Independence Day on August 15th. We thought we'd have a chat to a few executives on the team and ask them what this day is all about.
15th of August marks the Day of Independence for India, and being the Indian Society, that is Indian Student Association, we are trying to celebrate our independence and trying to keep up with all the cultures and traditions, and also trying to spread around our culture to natives of Australia and other cultures so that they come up and have a look at what we are and where we belong to.
What have you done here today for the students to celebrate this special occasion?
So we've had our flag hoisting basically, and we've had the Australian and Indian national anthem sung, and apart from that we have some Indian songs that were sung previously, and we also have Indian food. So we have samosas and laddus. So samosas is a savoury dish, whereas laddus is a sweet dish, so it's a combination for celebrations. Yep. That we do have other celebrations too. So in coming weeks we have a movie night, so people are more than invited to come and join and see how Indian movies are as well, and then after that we have some more cultural events, so we'll be really interested if other UW students can join in too. Yeah.
Please like our Facebook page, UW Indian Society, and we look forward for more and more participation. You don't have to be Indian necessarily, just come and join us and have fun.
It's been really incredible to see such a celebration of cultural diversity right here in our own backyard. Back to you guys in the studio.
Actually out there for Indian Independence Day, what were some of your favourite things going on?
So it was just amazing to see everyone being so invested in their culture and that they wanted everyone to get involved as well, not just people from India.
Well, the culture and art continues as River brings you everything from Live Art Week.
Have you found doing it live as opposed to doing it in a studio or just by yourself in a room?
I find it a little daunting.
I usually do get the funny old guy who likes to come and say, "Hey, you missed a spot." I'm like, yeah, man, I haven't heard that one today.
But it's good to have an atmosphere where people are watching you do your work.
You're constantly talking to people instead of just focusing solely on the artwork.
Having that conversation with people firsthand is something that you don't always get when you're exhibited in a gallery.
You're talking to people about the artwork, about your process about everything you do.
It's out, it's in front of everyone.
Tends to push me to get things done.
And kind of helps, like, motivate me.
About 25 different artists participating throughout the week in a whole range. Some of them are collaborating, some of them are doing solos, some are semi-permanent, some will just be here for one day. Hopefully some of these artworks will be staying up permanently, so keep your eye out around the campus.
Amazing to see all the wonderful art that's happening out on campus, and if that wasn't enough, we've actually got one of the artists, AJ, in the studio next.
Well, now we've got more on UAW Live Art Week, and we're joined by local artist AJ. Thanks for coming in.
It's great to be here.
So, well, I guess just generally, tell us a bit about your art.
So basically my art style has changed somewhat since last year when I was here. I've sort of moved away from portraiture, so vibrant pop art portraiture. The stuff that I do now is more based off, I guess, freestyle sketches that I do, and I add eyes in it to make my artwork conscious.
Cool, so you said you were here last year, so how many years have you been doing the art week for?
It's my 3rd year here, so...
Awesome, and how has that been?
Yeah, it's an awesome experience painting here. So I get the option to paint for 1, 2 or 3 days, and I'm always here for the full 3 days because it's great chatting with the students.
Good.
Yeah, well, I was having a look through your Facebook page, and the image that really struck me was the brightly painted house in the middle of a lake. Could you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, okay. So Marvin Glass, a photographer here and a Red Bull ambassador on campus, was actually shooting me painting the cubby house last year, and I just threw a crazy idea out there that I'd love to float it on the ocean, and or the lake rather, and Marvin was crazy enough to back me on that idea. So me and 25 uni students actually carried that out onto a lake and got an aerial drone shot of the cubby out in the water, and we also filmed a little movie for Triple J to try and win 25 tickets to Falls Festival. So we didn't win, damn it. But it was worth it. We had a great deal of fun. We actually went through Macca's with the cubby on the back. That was a story in itself. So many mobile phones taking photos.
Okay, so yeah, your art really is amazing. How long have you been doing art for?
17 years I've been painting for. A lot of those probably weren't legally, but now I've seen the light. I've got a business, Urban Art Australia, where I paint street art murals, and today here at Live Art Week is my chance to do, I guess, my own thing without people essentially commissioning me to do stuff. So it gives me a chance to be a little bit more expansive on what I'm doing. So probably about 3 or 4 years I've sort of been honing in on my noticeable art style. Yeah,
you hear a lot about like struggling artists and like affording to make money, like living off their art. So how have you been able to do that for yourself?
I think a lot of artists sort of take on the role of I create amazing art, because there's so many talented artists out there, but they really don't want to adopt the business approach. I think we really need to have that in this day and age. Some people were actually blown out today that I had PayPass available for some of the stuff I had for sale here. So you know, I guess the way that I've done that is by mixing, you know, my artwork with work ethic, and I think that's what's allowed me to be here with you guys today. So yeah,
that's wonderful. So is there anything else you'd like to add?
To all those teachers that said I wouldn't amount to nothing, here I am.
Nice. And if we do want to find out and check out your art, where can we go?
So yeah, Facebook and Instagram, AJ Art. So it's AYJAY.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming.
Cheers.
Here.
Thanks guys.
Now we'll see how many times Maddie can get rejected for Pop the Question.
The question of the week is, how many times can Maddie get rejected? Let's count. Hi, do you mind if we ask you a question? No? Okay, that's fine. Hi. Hey guys, do you mind if we... Sorry, do you mind? You are? No, that's okay, that's fine. Everyone is avoiding us. I swear people like keep walking far away. I'm down. What if I floss? Okay, there's a few coming up. Oh, they stopped. They got stopped by the socialists. Hi, do you mind if we ask you a quick question? No? Okay. Hi, do you mind if we ask you a quick question? No? Okay, no worries. Hey, do you mind if we ask you a quick question? No? Alright. No, that's okay. See you later. Okay, good chat. Tune in next time for Pop the Question, where hopefully we can actually pop a few more questions.
Looks like Maddie got even more rejection then than on The Bachelor.
She really did. I hope she gets in Rose next week.
Same, but what she can get in just 60 seconds is a mug cake.
Hi, this is 60 Second Snacks, and today we're making a mug cake.
You will need all-purpose flour and salt, granulated sugar, vegetable oil, milk, cocoa powder and Nutella. Okay, so you want to put all your ingredients into a jug first so it doesn't overspill already. So you're going to pour in all your dry ingredients first. Sugar and cocoa powder. Stir it up. And then you're going to add your veggie oil, your milk. Mix that all up until you get like a nice like batter consistency. And make sure there's like no lumps because it won't taste nice to eat a lump of flour. Okay, so once it's all mixed up, pour it into your mug. You want a mug that's sort of a good size because you don't want it to expand out of it and overflow into your microwave. And the secret ingredient is your Nutella. So you want a tablespoon of Nutella. Just gonna drop that bad boy on top and that'll just melt in.
I don't know if you can see it, but it's rising.
Yeah.
Okay, it's beeped. The moment of truth. Oh my gosh, it looks amazing.
So we're gonna give it a few minutes to cool because it's really hot, but you can see it's like a spongy consistency.
Okay. The moment of truth.
Soft. Probably needs a little bit more sugar, but other than that, not bad. Just like a big muffin.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Now I must say that mug cake definitely looks better than a dump cake.
The one question I have is, should you wash it before you make your coffee in it next?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So next up we've got Riley talking about bald people.
Got questions about finding love in the digital age? There's only one person to ask. Dear Riley.
Dear Riley, what are your tips to get a date if you're bald?
Being bald shouldn't matter. I think it's more of a personality thing. I don't think women are, really deterred by men who don't have as much hair. Vin Diesel's a good look. Bruce Willis made it a good look. So it's kind of, I think, the stigma around baldness is really only from, men teasing men, not so much women teasing men.
Well, I don't think we can use any advice from Riley, but look, I'm sure there's a few lecturers who could.
Next we've got Sarah with the earworm.
Welcome to the earworm. Tonight you've got a tough choice to make. Babe Rainbow or Almond Soy. Here are my arguments for both. Almond Soy is an up-and-coming indie pop-rock band with catchy, melancholy tunes. The guitar riffs that pop in and out of their EP Silhouette give off Last Dinosaur vibes, and their vocals are smooth and laid back. They're launching that EP Silhouette tonight at Rad Bar, supported by Archie Punker, Good Lecker and Videotape. Now, Babe Rainbow. The flowy, hippie vibe of their new track Supermoon really exemplify the type of mood Babe Rainbow is after. It sounds like a really relaxing afternoon after you've been at the beach all day, when you sit down for a nice cool beer and watch the sun go down. If you're in the mood for some closed eyes swaying at the uni bar, then definitely go check them out. Their supports Luke Spook and Banana Gun will be warming up the stage. And Friday night it's an ode to past loves as the Dead Love hits Rad Bar. The self-professed shitty grunge dudes will be introducing their new tune Wake Up, which is an incredibly insightful melody into the dark side of love. The frontman Stevie Knight explains the song's meaning further. Wake Up is a reminder that violence towards women is still very much present among us and happening closer than you think. It's a story of an ugly breakup turning physical, and touches on how some friends stayed silent even while others spoke up. So if you're in the mood for catchy tunes whilst contemplating the uglier things in life, definitely go give these guys some love with Baker's Eddie, Street Joan and Something Something Explosion. And in the main arena for Saturday night is your clangy pal Lanks. He's recently hit over 1 million streams on Spotify and is heading around Australia to celebrate his long-awaited debut album, 27, with Tyne Jane's organ and Essie Holt supporting. His catchy, vibrant tunes have captivated us all already, so head down to Unibar if you want to see him up close and personal. And on Sunday night, it's Nice Folk playing the Servo Food Truck Bar in Port Kembla for the last time ever. Last year, Nice Folk's Dave Mutton was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and since leaving the hospital and finishing up chemotherapy, he's thrown himself into his solo album. Head down south to pay your respects, with Spaceboy and Isaac warming up the Servo floor. Now, we've noticed that especially this week, there aren't a lot of women on the lineup. In fact, there are no women in our leading bands at all. We wanted to give a special mention to Essie Holt, a Melbourne electronic artist who'll be supporting Lanks on Saturday night at Unibar. So maybe instead of rocking up just before Lanks starts, head on in early and give some love to your amazing female musicians. And finally, our band name of the week is Luke Spook. The solo act from local legends The Pinheads has stepped away from garage rock into a more harmonious sound of his solo album. And that's all from us this week. Make sure you catch us on our socials below. Back to you in the studio.
Unfortunately, we've come to the end of the show, but the music will continue with Dan Rockford performing for UOW Unplugged. I'm Stuart.
And I'm Kass.
Goodbye.
See you next time.
Changing tides, and I walk beside, just trying to be okay. That these things will never be the same again. That's why in every song we sing, we are always preaching, trying to share some understanding and remind. Why does every song speak about the beauty of the sea? Because it always washes away and makes us feel free. And why does every song speak about the coming of sunrise? Because it always brings us hope as it falls from the sky. It's like a young love doesn't last long, but it doesn't mean it wasn't worth all those phone calls. And now just let it fade away like those jeans that you love. And I know just like our hopes you never wanna let go, but love, no, some things we weren't meant to hold on, not hold on to. Opening your eyes for the first time under the ocean. No, it's scary at the start, but then it becomes clear as can be. It's hard to change your ways back from a preconceived notion, like rearranging the colors that roam in the sea. That's why in every song we sing, we are always preaching, trying to share some understanding and remind. Why does every every song's about the beauty of the sea, because it always washes away and makes us feel free. And why does every song scream about the coming of sunrise? Because it always brings us hope as it falls from the sky. It's like a young love, it doesn't last long, but it doesn't mean it wasn't worth all those phone calls. And now just let it fade away like those jeans that you love. And I know just like our hopes you never wanna let go, but love knows some things we weren't meant to hold on, not hold on to. The sea before it slips through your fingers. Only hold the sand before it falls between your toes. And I feel the soft song burn upon your nose. And all these things fade. Or you can only hold the sand before it slips through your fingers. You can only hold the sea before it falls between your toes. And I feel this soft song burn upon your nose. And all these things fade eventually, but some things we weren't meant to hold on.